Hello there. Just getting ready now for our fishing trip, August 2013. First fishing trip this year. And this year we're going to Bluewater in France. So, just got all my gear ready, just tying a few rigs, all ready to rock and roll. Hopefully these little beauties will do the job when we get there. All pre-tied up. So I haven't been fishing since last year. We've got all the gear down, out the shed, out the loft, got it all sorted, so hopefully I'm all prepared now, ready for a good crack at it. Haven't been to Bluewater before, been to a few venues over the last 10 years in France, done reasonably well, like everybody. You have some good days, you have some bad days with carp fishing. It's not always about catching, still have a good time, sit in the sun, enjoy your fishing, some nice lakes, lovely scenery, catch a few carp, drink a few beers and have a good time. It's your holiday, but always get a good crack, try and catch something. And we've done reasonably well over the last couple of years, me and my fishing partner, but not massive regular fishermen, so we've done okay. So, but this year, Bluewater Lake, going to give it a crack. Like I said, not been before, don't know the swims, so we need to be off early Saturday morning. We're taking the train this year, or the Eurotunnel. I reckon it's 3.5–4 hour drive. We want to be there for the draw, 2 o'clock draw at Bluewater, so we want to get there in time for that, obviously. Don't want to miss out on a better swim, but get there, hopefully have a walk around, have an idea where we want to fish before the draw. If we get lucky in the draw, maybe me and Gaz can take the swims we want. Hopefully for a bit of social and for catching some fish. So we're going to give it a crack. August 2013, Bluewater. I'm all ready to go. So next time we catch you, it'll be the obligatory shot of the tunnel and us driving to France. So we'll catch up with you Saturday morning. Cheers. Well, here we are, Bluewater Lake. We found it. Took a bit of finding, but there we go. Welcome to Bluewater. You can see where we park.
Alright.
Start straight on, little lane. Lake's to our left. The first glimpse of it. Through the trees. And
looks a bit weedy.
looks like the shallow end from what we've seen on the Google Maps. Anyway, don't know. Not been here before, so we'll have a look in a minute. At least we found it. Getting close to the draw time, so another 20 minutes we would have been last in the draw, which isn't exactly what we want. So here we are, Bluewater. We found it. Half hour to go. A couple of cars here, a vans. Looks like a few people have beaten us, so never mind. There's the lake. So let's go and have a look. Nice one. Oh, here we are, Bluewater. This is our swim. Gary drew 6 in the draw. I drew 3. So obviously 1 and 2 had the choice. I think there's a couple of Dutch lads who are fishing the other side of the lake, from the wood side 1 and 2. They wanted to fish together, so they disappeared over to the other side. So when they put 1 and 2 and they went together, that left me really with the most of the lake. There appears to be a couple of guys already fishing, so they'd already taken up a couple of swims, so we had a bit of a choice really, a bit of a dilemma. Where to go? Do we sort of social up and fish together, or we could have split and gone either side of the lake, lakeside 3 I think, and would have been woodside 1 I believe. I mean, we only arrived just before the draw really, so we only had the quickest to scoot around, and we had to quickly pick a swim. And when I came out at draw at 3 and the other 2 they took their crack at the other side, I had to make a decision, and I was stalling a bit and didn't quite know where to go. We like the look of this swim. It's it's a cracking looking setup. Nice big double swim. Gaz is on the left, I'm on the right, and it's all shingled out and it's nice and flat and the lake's okay, but what was slightly worrying for us, we seem to have some weed about in front of us, and hopefully it's not going to be a problem, but it wasn't ideal after fishing a lake once before where we ran into a bit of difficulty with weed, and it sort of scared us a bit forevermore. But it doesn't, hopefully it's not going to be a problem. There's quite a bit out there, but we're going to have to just get on with it now and fish it. So like tonight, really, we haven't started fishing it now that the time's cracking on. It's about 6 o'clock, to be honest, and we've been up the supermarket. We stocked up on a few bits and pieces, and we're sort of getting ready for almost the first cast and settling down. But yeah, as for my swim, I've got quite a bit of water out in front of me here, but I don't know if you can sort of pick up that in this in the shallows. But there is quite a bit of weed out there, to be honest, and we're just going to have to work it somehow. So until we know where the spots in the weed are, and we're just going to have to make it work tonight. So a bit of a choice. I didn't want to go with I'm going to go with 2 chod rigs. So you know, hopefully if there is some weed out there, it's going to settle up above it. And I had a bit of a look at it. It's a bit of a guess. I'm going to put one on the bottom and try and hit through the weed, and PVA bag, bit of foam, try and sort of smash my way through. To be honest, first night we don't know, but you're just going to give it a crack. I think if you get a fish on the first night, it's a bit of a bonus. So, but you know, we will take one if we can, and if we don't, we'll have a look at it tomorrow and refigure where we can go. So, I don't think there's been dozens of carp being caught, but there seems to be a few. But when the sun comes out in the water now, I can sort of make out the dark shapes in the water where the black weed is. But it's just a matter of getting around the other side. Maybe in the morning. There's a little boat here. If I pan round, we can have a butcher's ear of this old boat. So tomorrow maybe we can get out in the boat. He doesn't seem to mind. You know, it's not ideal going out in a boat. You know, we're punching around and scaring the carp up the other end of the lake. But it might just be we might have to bite the bullet on it, give it a crack, get out in the boat, go to the other side, try and find some places to put our baits. Gazzy swims on the left here. He's got his bivvy and it all set up ready to go. So yeah, it's a nice looking spot. It is a shame, you know, perhaps there's not a few more free airs, but we're just going to have to work it. We're here now for a week. We've got a week to crack it. Doesn't have to do it on the first night, but it's nice and comfortable. There's worse things we can be doing than sitting out here tonight, drinking a few beers. We stocked up on Desperados. We've got a couple of different flavour ones to try tonight. Got the old usual Kronenbergs, and we've got a bit of a barbecue, as always, going on later. So, but yeah, as for now, it's get the rods out and start tidying up, get ready for tonight, and have a few cold uns. So you've got your swim here, Gaz. What do you reckon on your first look at your swim then, mate?
Yeah, weedy.
Bit weedy, yeah.
Well, probably not as weedy as yours.
No, nothing we're...
I think if I can get over to those margins on the opposite bank, I think I can. Yeah, I can work with that.
The far bank doesn't actually look too bad. There's a bit of shade, I suppose, with the trees coming down and a bit of shade and over there. Maybe the weed doesn't actually get up quite so much. You know, it loves the old sun. The sun cracks it off. It's been I think there's a lot of rain earlier in the area. In fact, these swims were flooded early in the season, but since then the old current bun's come out, which is lovely. But you know, that's going to make the old weed pop up. So, but I think that far margin of your swim, that could be the ideal one. We got the boat, bait boat, so we can drop off in the areas when we find them. But maybe tonight, I don't know. We might go with a boat tonight, or it might be just tonight a cast out and see how we go. Feel the lead down, feel some spots, and just concentrate on how we go. But yeah, so here we are. We're at Bluewater. We bivvied up. We've got a nice flat swim. We're going to have a good social anyway. We're going to have to maybe a little bit of a challenge, but it's not meant to be easy all the time. So we're just going to crack on and see how it goes. So that's it then. No worries. So here we are. We turn the camera around. Here we are, Bluewater 2013.
Get the baits out.
Get the baits out. Actually, I could do with a beer. I've had only a couple of glasses of water all day. Probably not enough really. I've had half a packet of crisps, I think. I've had sod or well. So really, I'm looking forward to a nice wet. Unfortunately, I think the fridge space is a little bit limited, so we're going to have to poke up with maybe half-warm beer. But half-warm beer is better than no beer, that's for sure. I'm sure we can have one or two anyway. We're going to work. The beer will not be the problem. The fishing might be the problem. Beer, no problem. Nice one. We might catch up here later. You never know. First night we might have some fish action, but we give it a go. But we're at Bluewater and we're fishing. Catch you later. Here you go. Just have a quick look at the old rig we're going to be using on the first night here. We're going to go for the old naked chod. We've got a purple pop up there on the old chod. Out to the weight. Free running. So the idea is hopefully it sits above any weed that's out there. I don't quite know where it is at the moment, so it would have been a cast into the bit of the unknown. So we're going to have a crack with the old chod rig. Weight. Idea the lead hits the water. Your bait flies up, hits the top bead, or hits me in this case, and when it settles down, a nice little pop up here, hopefully will just be suspended above any any weed or any chod or whatever's under there. So this is the rig we're going to go. I'm going to have 2 on the chod and 1 on the bottom. Pack the bottom with a PVA bag and a bit of a rig foam and that, and just try, and if there is any slight weed I can just about see where the lighter areas are. Hopefully we'll smash through it and make our own little area to fish. So that's it. I'm going to give the old chods a go. Happy days. Alright then, well here we are. It is the first night. We've got the rods out. I say, as I talked about earlier, so I'm not quite sure where we're going to go, so we're really fishing tonight and just chancing it a little bit in a way. We'll just see how it goes. Don't really know the spots, so we've seen a couple of carps move from the far bank. So yeah, I've got a couple of rods on the far bank. Gaz is doing the same in his little back bay there, and I've got 2 on the chods as I sort of showed you earlier, and I've got a bottom bait. Hopefully there's a bit of a gap, a bit of a channel out there, and I've got a bottom bait there, got a PVA bag, so if there is any slight weed or chod, hopefully I've crashed through it. So that's the idea anyway. But so hopefully we've got 6 rods out, obviously 3 each. Gaz is fishing in the bay, I'm in this bay. It's our first night. We don't really know the score of the place, haven't been before. Keep saying we're going to see what we catch. What we have got though, we've got Desperado, and not only have we got Desperados, we've got some different ones. I'll tell you what, the French are not all bad. Doesn't matter what anyone says about them, they're not all bad. They got better bread than us, they got better crisps than us, they probably got a better football team than us, they got better looking checkout women in the garage than us. I'll delete that bit later. Maybe better food. I don't know, they got kebabs. We like kebabs, I don't know about curry. We got Desperado Red, Tequila and Guarana, and that's the old energy drink stuff, so we're giving that a bash. We've already had one earlier, he just seemed right to christen it. Gaz has got, let's have a look at this one, my old mucker. We got the Tecu Ross, there you go. It's obviously the same sort of stuff, the old tequila, now like the Desperado, so he's having a butcher's of that. Just make sure it's not non-alcoholic. He likes a bit of a shandy, does our Gaz, a bit of a top, but I think we will let him off on this 5.9. So it don't matter, he's got the 5.9, we let him off on this one. So he's fishing and he's got the old beer. I got the beer. We haven't got any fish, but we got loads of beer. So Pringles. We got Pringles. We should have the nuttier Pringles. So we're fishing. We got beer. We got a currant bun. It's now 8 o'clock local time, 7 o'clock Blighty time. So we've probably got another couple of hours, maybe an hour and a half daylight. So we're going to sit back now, watch the water, see if we can see any movement of the carp, because that's the idea, and hopefully they give themselves away. As the week goes, we might be able to see them moving through the channels, see them at the far bank. We've seen a couple of top on the far bank, but yeah, just going to sit back. We've made a bit of a row, as you do, setting up on the first day, a bit of banging, a bit of crashing, so there's geezers fishing down the other end, so hopefully they push them down our way. So here we go, first night, we're here, we're fishing, we got beer, we got food, we got some burgers and sausages for tonight. It ain't bad, is it? If we don't catch, we ain't going in the drink tonight. Maybe at the end of the week we'll throw ourselves in. So if you see us again, we're either playing a fish or we talk about it in the morning because we can't be bothered to get the camera out. But at the moment we're fishing. It's happy days.
You run into the toilet.
Yeah, Gaz is not. He's famous for being a bit ill, bit Tom Dick. At the moment, everything seems calm, so we haven't had to go to any Imodiums or bushes. So it ain't bad, is it? We're fishing, we're beering. We're gonna have some food. We could do with a fish now. Probably a bit much to ask for, but no worries. Catch you all later. Well, morning. Here we are. It's the first morning now. See, last night, a quick sort of, it was a bit of a quick cast to luck as we talked about yesterday. But so, unfortunately for me, no fish. Gary had a catfish in the night or early morning. I think it was around about 5 o'clock, to be honest, and only a small one. It was. I guess we didn't weigh it, but somewhere between 12 and 15 pound at a guess. I mean, somebody told me it was 15. I wouldn't argue. If somebody told me it was 11, I wouldn't argue too much with them anyway. But anyway, it's welcome. So we were off the mark, or Gary's off the mark anyway, and it was welcome nonetheless. So it's a nice bright morning. Lake's mist and that coming off it, where it's the steam. So it's still positive. We're going to probably fish to about 10:30, 11. We need to get up the supermarket if we're going to get our supplies today, because apparently on Sunday today it shuts at 12. So we'd not that we need a great deal, but we just have a trip out and get a few bits and pieces. Then when we come back, the plan will be to try and find some areas so we can get our baits on the money, really. I mean, last night we were fishing and kind of I wasn't confident, and usually you know, when you get your baits out and you're happy, it's like you're fishing properly. So last night I didn't really have a lot of. I think if I had caught something, it would have been more to luck. It wouldn't have been working to a plan. Knowing I'm fishing, it would have been. It was a bit of a chuck and hope, which is not how we want to carry on all week. So, but that was the first night in a new lake, so that's what we had to do. I think we sort of have a walk around the lake on this video, and we'll show you the rest of Bluewater later. I think for the rest of the lake, we got a couple just fishing next to us here. They did catch. The Martin he caught last night, 30 something. He did tell me 38, I think. So he's had a fish into the open water. And there's a couple of Dutch lads a bit further down into the main area of the lake. They seem to be very busy. Give them that, they're working hard, and there's boats and that flying around out there. I don't know if they're mapping the lake and putting quite a bit of bait out, but apparently there's they did catch some fish. So we don't till we go around and maybe speak to them a bit later, or maybe find out what they did, what they caught, without poking our nose in. Don't want to bother people too much, but so that'll be the plan really for today. So if we catch anything, now the sun, it looks like it's going to be a cracking day. So if we do get anything, we can we'll have the action on the video here. But so that's our plan for today. It's Sunday. First we'll crack it. The first day, get stuck into it now. But one fish, so we're off the mark. Many more. Here we are on a little drive out. We've got some shopping, and we thought we'd check out a couple of lakes in the area. There's quite a few in this area, but this one is Lake de Lesmont, or Lemont I think it's called, on the Carp du Or Syndicate. We inquired about fishing this lake, but it was full, so we didn't get on this lake. But just by having a little nose through, not to disturb anyone, it actually looks there's certainly some care and gone into it. Very smart. Can't actually see the lake, but plane going overhead. But yeah, it looks very smart. Somebody's put a lot of effort in to keep it tidy. Unfortunately, we can't actually see the lake, but here we are. Next one, we are at Lemont, and in a minute we are going to drive past the Corda Water Gigantica, so that'll be the next one. There's our automobile for the trip, which has served us proud. But there you go, just a clip of Lemont. Well, it's our next lake on our little tour today. This is a Gigantica, the Corda Water. We're just peering it through the hedge. Nice blue colour of the water, unlike our lake which is supposed to be blue water, but actually it's not really blue. Yeah, it's a much bigger lake than our one. If we can have a little zoom in, there are people fishing on the far bank. His bivvy's up. Let's have a nose into that bloke, eh? Oh, we're getting a bit wobbly there, sorry about that. So, nosing right into his swim, eh? Whee. Yeah. Don't know where he is, but there we go. That's Bluewater Lake. No, get it right. Gigantica. We're fishing Bluewater. Not very well. That's it. This is another lake we applied to fish this year before we got into Bluewater. This is Napoleon Lake. It's only probably about 2 mile away. So just we'd have a quick shot at it. We actually come down to see if we could see something, but the lake is behind the fence, and we won't disturb them because we shouldn't really be on site in there. We're not fishing there, but yeah, looks kind of nice and tidy from the outside. Napoleon Lake, I think Napoleon 1 and 2, 2 lakes in there. We might catch that one year, not this year. Back at Bluewater, standing outside the lodge, so just looking across the main body of the lake, down the main bank down there, or the lodge side bank. 3 swims down there, 1, 2 and 3. Over to the far bank, woodside swim, 1, 2 and 3 I think. Yeah, we'll have one down there as the week goes, do some footage, but this is up to the main part of the lake. And where we are on the spit, as we pan round, that's where we are. We're fishing up there. It's a nice spot. Oh, we've got some visitors, got the dogs. Hello, the dogs are here. I'm going one way and they're going the other. Hello guys, let's see if we can catch up with them. There they are. As you can see, there's a nice little patio area. You can sit down. There's the lodge. Got everything you need. It's got a fridge and bits and pieces in there. Some people take up the food package here, so Jim and Janet cook them the food, and they can either sit inside or they can sit on this nice patio area. There's flowers and pots and that. So this is the main part of the lake on Bluewater. Right, we're back from our shopping and our little visit to some of the lakes in the area, Lamont and Gigantica, and since we've been back we've been out in a boat. We got told off for it because we didn't have a life jacket on, and probably quite rightly so, but anyway, it had to be done. So we've been out in a boat and really backed up what I thought last night, which was I wasn't fishing in the right area, and I think I probably was in the weed. But to be honest, we probably talked about it last night and we kept on about the weed, but we were a bit worried about it, but we feel a bit better now. We've been out in the boat. There's some patches which are clear, especially towards the far margin, so it'd be a bait boat over to the far margin, drop the baits off, and we'd be fishing. And actually, talking about we got a telling off for going out in the boat, they're going out in the boat now across the lake.
And
so
he's standing there. And
yeah.
He hasn't got a light. He's standing there, and he hasn't got a light.
He hasn't got yet. Gary's there. He is. He's over there. There's Gaz. And we got a telling off, but now they're going out in the boat without a light. Anyway, who cares? We went out in the boat and we got told off. Anyway, we'll have a little clip of the guys going out in the boat here. But it's day one really for us. This fishing starts now for us. We weren't fishing properly last night. I knew it. I didn't think I was going to catch, and I didn't. I think confidence is everything. If you're feeling confident and your bait's on the money, you're going to catch. Last night my baits weren't on the money. They weren't on pennies, let alone money. They weren't on anything. They was in the bushes. So we're here, and tonight, after we're going to have some tea, we're going to be fishing. There will be some fish action on this video. Let's have a look at what these guys on the boat are doing. Obviously got a fish on.
I'd like to point out it's not Gary in the boat.
It's not Gary in the boat. That fella's a lot slimmer than Gaz. He's a big lad. He might have a big fish, so we'll just see how this pans out.
get them in. This swim's always this boat, get a fish, get in the boat.
Right. Good. Imagine the fish is weeded up a little bit there.
Still feeling, Dave?
Through now, yeah.
Let's have a nose. I'm not usually nosy. I don't usually see other people's fish, but as we're making a bit of a shot here, it's obviously very close to the margin here. This fish, the big fella's got it stuck in there, so he's looks like they're going to try and net it. Disappear behind the bushes now. Oh well, never mind. We'll catch up with him, mate, and see how he's got on. I think it's time for a bit of grub now and start fishing for ourselves. I'm not worried about other people are catching particularly. It's a bit, you know, you got to worry about yourself, haven't you? So, and I haven't got one. Gaz has had a catfish, but not really what we came for. But it's better than nothing. But we're going to crack on this afternoon. Nice one, guys. Right, here we are, end of day 2. Nice evening, as you can see. We had our baits on the money, or kind of what we was hoping today. So no action of banking fish. I've had 2 runs this afternoon. One dropped straight back. Didn't know whether it hit it. You sort of wait, and then it moved its way up, and I hit it. Got strange with it. Came back in. I lost my lead, and I had no bait. So something obviously picked it up, but you know, nothing. There was no pressure. The only trouble is we're in the clear water now, but we're finding that between us and the clear water, there's quite a bit of weed, and our line, we're using X line, probably working against us in this case. It's dropping through the weed, and when we're striking, you know, you're having to get through the weed first with the line, so you're not in direct contact with the carp straight away. So obviously we're not battle-leading or anything like that. We want to be straight in contact with the carp. But I lost, I never even felt the fish. Then only what's the time now? We're 8:30 local time. About probably 3/4 an hour ago, sitting there. I just had a shower and got the boat out. Gaz had just gone to have his break, and the bobbin banged to the top straight away. It was a great run, you know, a proper carp run. It hit the top, great, struck into it. Again, not making instant contact, but yeah, nothing. I never got anything. It came in. I had my lead that time. Had my bait. Don't know what happened. Got done. Obviously, something never made great contact. So, but it picked it up and it hit the top. So. Bit frustrating really, so I haven't 2 down, 2 runs, no fish. But it's only the second night, and it's like the first night. Hopefully we're fishing in the spot, so we'll see what happens.
Better than no runs.
Yeah, it's not just in this place making contact, it's getting them in, because there is a lot of weed. There's no point saying there isn't. There is a lot of weed between us and where our baits are, so hooking them and landing them is another thing. I mean, at night I'd imagine it would be, if it's stuck up in the weed, it would probably be a difficult thing. We got a guy, hopefully we'll go over and bother him in a minute, and we're the only man who's had 2 fish, but he spent probably an hour from the original run to getting the fish in, which meant in the boat with Jim, the owner. They was out in the boat. It left his swim. It came out of ours as well, and in the end, but he got it. But it was an hour, probably an hour's fight. So it meant, because he couldn't land it with his own swim, and it was snagged. Fair play to them. They got in the boat and they did a good job, and they got the fish in. So for the end of it, there was a reward. So, but you wouldn't want to be doing that at night. Certainly not at night after a couple of these. I haven't got mine. After a couple of these things as well, so you have to be keeping a little bit on top of things. So it's not the place to get plastered and then be playing fish. Not that anywhere is, obviously we don't say drink too much and fish because it's not on, but you know, we're on holiday and it's a cracking evening, a couple of beers, as long as you're fishing sensibly, no worries. So here we are then, it's Sunday night, so far diddly for me. Gaz 1 cat, 1-0, two runs, no fish, 1 run, 1 fish.
Yeah.
And see this, 1 fish, this man has seen this lots of times, it's from the umpire, out.
LBW.
Yeah, still Sunday night and we're in Martin's swim. He's had 2 fish from out in front of us. He's got quite a bit of weed in front of him, but he snuck 2 out. So as I mentioned earlier, he had to get out in the boat. It was a bit of an episode. He did well to get it in. Jim helped him and he did okay. So it's been worthwhile. He's the man here. There he is, Martin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's doing good. He's had 2 fish. So he's 2-0 up on us. But as you say, he had to work the weed. He's fished here before, Martin, so he knows the lake a little bit. He knows his swim, in fact, so it's worked out quite well for him. But probably not quite in the lake as weedy as that. But he's not putting us off. We're 2 fished. He's had to have a bit of a boating episode, but it's all part of the fun. In a way, as long as you get it in the end, it's part of it.
It's hooking the fish first.
Hooking the fish, yeah. Well, at least you've struck into 2 and made contact with 2.
That's right.
I've struck into 2 and I haven't felt the fish. Well, the fish wasn't there. Obviously, it was there because it picked up the bait and it hit the rod, hit the top. But yeah, Martin's managed to go out and he's had 2. So he's the man at the moment on the hot rod.
Early days, yeah.
Early days, yeah. Yeah,
It could turn around.
It could turn around, hopefully for me. In fact, it will. We're confident. But yeah, this is Martin's swim off the point. What actually is this one? Is this right hand?
This is, I'm not sure actually. I think this is peg 3
Peg
or point 3.
Point 3. Yeah, got a nice bit of water out in front of you. There's a bit, obviously there's weed. You can't see it. It's
It's the weediest swim on the lake.
The weediest swim on the lake. You can't see it, but yeah, right out in front of us there's quite a bit of weed.
Probably 20 yards of solid weed all the way
20
down.
yards of solid weed, might say. But there is the channel, and he's clipping up and marking his distance and working it well. So you've got to do what you've got to do to catch fish. Otherwise, you'll be struggling. So you can't just throw it and hope. So he's obviously doing something right. So doing really well. Here we are. It's Monday morning and sun's out. Well, about being a Monday morning now. It's if he was at home, we'd be at work. So, but anyway, last night it all turned round and the fishing went really well. No, I'm only joking. We never caught a thing. But yeah, a bit disappointing really. In all seriousness, now we think we had our baits on the spots we wanted to be on. We hope, and nothing. There was 1 fish caught on the lake. We think from again Martin next door. But I'm not sure about the Dutch lads who are over on the wood side, but news from the lakeside or the lodge side bank or whatever they're calling it, nothing from there. And in fact the guys, there's a couple of guys on there who were here last week as well, so they're now on their 2nd week and they haven't caught yet, so we're not quite jumping in the old drink yet. So another day and another challenge, so that's what carp fishing is about. Apparently as well there's a lake just to the back of here, and it's got catfish and bits and pieces in, and so we hear it's relatively easy, but we'll see that when we get there. So we might even get a bit of action over there this afternoon. We'll carry on fishing here, leave our rods out. My rods has been in now since I think probably about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Didn't see the point in bringing them in. They was on the clear spots, and one came in because I had to run and it came off, so we had to rebait that a bit later last night. But the other 2 on the far margin are still out there. So, but yeah, nothing at all. Bit disappointing. But anyway, today we're not at work. It's Monday morning and everyone else is at work. So that's their bad news, isn't it? So we're here fishing. Not bad. It looks like it's going to be another warm day. Just sort of run over the setup here. Reels and rods on the pod, overlooking the lake and the alarms. So that's it. So the plan really is hole up for another another half hour or so, an hour, probably a bit longer than that. It's just 9 o'clock now local time, so we'll crack on here for a little bit. I don't see the point in disturbing anything. We went out on the boat yesterday trying to mark the spots, and that might, it's not going to help, but we just let it calm down now. So we leave the rods in for a little while, and then have a trip to the supermarket, stock up on the old necessaries, and maybe try the other lake. So we'll give that a go. That's the plan for the day. Whether it's a good one, who knows. We are looking out of this is Gary's swim. At the moment it's not a pretty sight, but unfortunately we might as well have him. We're actually going to Thailand soon, and I do believe there's in Thailand, in Bangkok, there's something called the reclining Buddha. Well, it might be in France. He's just sitting there. Let's have a look at his swim, eh? We've got the bit of sun coming out. Might be a bit bright for this shot, but yeah, got plenty of water. Fishing towards the back bay. The old Easy Dome, Fox Easy Dome, doing him proud. I have one of them. We'll have a little scan around our little camp, eh, shall we? As we can see on this point swim, there's a nice table and chairs up there to sit down at. I mean, it's a comfortable swim. It's a cracking swim, really. Martin and Tracy are fishing over there. Well, Martin's fishing and his girlfriend Tracy's with him. So, for comfortable wise, it's lovely. I think early in the season, Jim was saying the water was actually so high, it was up and over this swim. Having a look at. All right, for the battery charging, there's my solar charger. Sort of pan round to my swim, so you can see. Nice big open space. No trees above for casting. It's good. They provide the mat, so you don't need to bring your mat. Makes a convenient bait boat stand at the moment, because that's all it's useful for. There's been no fish on it. Well, not on mine. You're looking out onto the lake. The far bank is it's really weedy in front of us. I mean, I don't know if we can, if I put a pan down here, you can actually see the weed right in front of us. So even if I do get one, somehow it's got to come through that lot. So, you know, we're going to have to lose the lead, hopefully, and get the fish up in the water. But out into the main bay here, on the far bank, a good 15-foot back from the bay, it's clear water, and that was where my baits were last night. I've got a pylon there which I can use as a marker if I needed to cast out in the night. But there you go. So, but really, 3/4 of the way across this whole bay, it's weed. So yeah, but out in front of us here, and there's weed, as you can see. Again, more weed city. It goes all the way across, but there is a channel 3/4 of the way where there isn't weed, and it's probably a good 20 foot wide. But then back towards the far bank over there, there's weed again. So I'm fishing that channel, which is where I had the run last night. It's actually the same channel that Martin next door is fishing, and he's putting his baits in between the weed as well, which is, you know, an obvious, probably what everybody's going to do. You're not going to go crashing straight into this thick green weed. I mean, you'd never get a presentation right there. So this is my swim, a point swim. I think it's the point right hand, and I think Gary's in left hand point swim. But yeah, it's comfortable. There's a lot going for it. Oh, there's a bleep on my rod. The middle rod. What's the chances? What's the chances? Probably none. The old Delkim squawked. I have had quite a bit of a line bite action. It's up and down. I mean, the old line's probably laying across the weed, and anything that moves in and out of the weed, you could trigger the line. So the old bobbins have been wobbling about a bit. There they are. Look, it's not really very good, is it? Look, the reel handles are not lined up. You know, it's poor. It's probably why I'm not catching, to be honest. I mean, you know, any good man who's going to set his rods up, you've got to have the reel handles in line. So actually, I think that's probably the reason why I'm not catching now. I've got to get that sorted, haven't we? Not very good. There's the old dome, home for the week, the armadillo. When I can figure, it's supposed to be the easiest dome in the world to get up, apart from me putting it up. But when you haven't put it up for 2 years, you've got to remember what to do. So this is it, base camp. base camp point swim. All we now have to do is get some fish for you to see. Hello there, another evening on Bluewater Lake, and it's now 6:32 local time, and it's Monday evening of our camping video. We decided to change it from a fishing video to a camping video, as if anyone's been watching it from the stupid enough to be watching this from the start. They realise so far the fishing action is not exactly ripping for us. In fact, it's not for anybody. So on the lake, there's only one guy's had a couple. I think he's actually lost one, but as I think I mentioned earlier, some of the guys who are doing a 2-weeker, some of them still haven't caught, so we were down to a couple of nights. So, but what we can talk about is beer. We've always got beer, that's the good thing. Tonight, because forget the fishing now, we've had enough of fishing, it's the 1664 blank. Quite fitting really, isn't it? Blank with a K would have been even better. So we're having some of that. Got the Desperados in the fridge. Recommend the Desperados to anyone who hasn't tried them. Get on them. They're pretty good. They come in cell, mainline, no, the tequila and lager. Give them a try. We tried the guarana ones, we've tried the red ones, we've tried all sorts. And we tried some red beer, Grimberger or something, you know, yeah, nasty stuff. But yeah, so we won't be talking about fishing anymore. Waste of time. We can't catch anything. We're crap. So it's Monday night, camping video, and that's it. And when we say camping, it's not we went camp. We're, well, I don't know, speak for myself, but not that sort of camp, but there we go.
It's out today as well.
Yeah, it's a good point. It absolutely hammered it down today. This afternoon we were settled down, I got the book out. The book must be like a rain detector. As soon as I got the book out and sat down, it absolutely peed it down. And did it come down? Jesus. I paid the price for not really pegging the bivvy down correctly, and it sort of had a bit of a Lake Ontario inside the older bivvy, because I didn't tuck the rain sheet properly underneath the outside underneath the ground sheet properly, and it was in everywhere, and it absolutely hammered it down. So we'll see if the rain brings any oxygen to the water and that. We can't change our luck because we haven't caught anything, so it can't ruin anything. We can only maybe help the lake, but I think it was Gary said today earlier. We've had you have a lot of things. Oh, it's going to rain. It's going to make the fishing go. Usually, if the fishing's crap, a bit of rain doesn't instantly change it. Or it hasn't done for me. It just it might take a bit of time. It is a bit cooler tonight, so that's probably not a bad thing. But I really don't know how much difference it's going to make, if any. But we'll see. So fingers crossed. Will we get any fish on this video? How many nights? I'm not very good at maths. How many nights we got after tonight? 5 nights after tonight, Bluewater. So 4 nights after tonight. So if anyone's watching this thinking about Bluewater, don't particularly take it from us. We might not be very good, but at the moment, no fish, no sturgeon, well, one catfish, one little catfish. We might go and try the lake, as we mentioned earlier. The little pond. There's a big pond, big old lake, which is just on the opposite side to the lodge side lake. There's a right opposite at the back there. There's a big old lake, and apparently there's quite a lot of catfish in there. So, as we mentioned earlier, we were ever thinking about it this afternoon, but probably just as well we got ourselves organised the way it rained, or we would have been caught short over there, and everything would have been soaking wet. So, we might give that a go. If we do, we take the camera, see if we can get a catfish. But we can recommend the Blanc, very fitting. We've also got more Kronenberg. We've got Desperados, mirrors and common Desperados. Tonight on the menu we have onions, mushrooms and mince. Cheese. No fish though. No, if you're watching this for fish, yeah, turn it off on YouTube. John Wilson, he's alright. Give him a go. But if you want to come on here looking for advice for Bluewater, maybe not.
8 anglers.
8 anglers.
2 nights.
2 nights.
4 fish.
4 fish. I don't know what the Dutchies have done. That's 4.
That's included.
Oh, that's including the Dutchies, and they seem to know what they're doing, even if we don't. They've got the art oil going backwards and forwards and lit up like a Christmas tree out there. So I wouldn't particularly say they have too many of these, but I might be doing them a disservice, because they might be having a couple of beers. But yeah, they're Dutch. Yeah, they're all Dutch. They like a bit, and they're probably on there. But so yeah, 4 fish. 8 anglers, Bluewater. No fish water.
If I crouch down,
I'm getting your picture.
Oh, sorry.
Right, no, you're right.
I'll try and lift his head.
There I go.
You'll never lift it.